Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Phoenix here, the most consistent YouTuber on the platform. And dare I say, the most consistent streamer and YouTuber in all of existence. No, but what's going on, guys? It's Phoenix here. And welcome to a series that I sort of want to make like a story time sort of thing. I don't know what I'm actually going to call it, but it's basically going to be a series of smaller story time like videos, just talking about my experience in life and past funny stories and my mindset currently. That I'll be releasing in between videos. After this video, there should be a very good vlog coming out pretty soon that I've been planning to do for a little bit now. That should release on Halloween. I don't know if I'll release another video between that time, but if I do, then, you know, it will be uploaded to the main channel. But in this video, I just quickly want to make a pilot, I guess, of this like series and stuff like that, just talking a little bit about something that I feel like I've forgotten over the years, and that is why I even started YouTube in the first place. Now, I could get into how I discovered YouTube and to all the YouTubers that has motivated me to do, you know, content creation over the years, which I'll briefly touch on in this video. But there's honestly so many different people that I could mention that I feel like I'll make that a separate video later on, but I'll touch on it a little bit. So basically, way back when I was like 8 years old, I believe that was 2014, like December, Christmas was coming up, and I remember getting a present from either my mom or my grandma. I can't remember who gave me this, but they gave me a present. I opened the box, and the item that was inside, you know, Link opening the chest, was an iPad. Yes, I was an iPad kid. At least when I was like between the age of like 8 up to like 12. Or like 10. But I remember getting this iPad, and keep in mind, I didn't have YouTube on like my PlayStation at the time or anything like that. So having an iPad had completely new apps on it that I never touched on before. And I remember playing games like fucking Clumsy Ninja, Samurai, and a few other like really awesome games on there that I can't really remember right now, but there was a lot. And I remember I was bored one day, and I was just scrolling through the app store to see like what can I like install, like what's free. And there was this little shitty app that no one really ever used called YouTube. And I was like, oh shit, that's sick. Let me just like go on there and see like what's going on with YouTube. Let me see like what that is. So I downloaded the fucking thing. I clicked, you know, into the YouTube app on the thing, and I'm not kidding when I say this. The first ever video that popped up on my YouTube recommended feed was Markiplier Plays Five Nights at Freddy's 1 Part 1. And ever since then, I fell in love with FNAF, but I also fell in love with YouTube and gaming YouTube channels as a whole, which, like I said, there'll be probably 2 different videos for each of those different topics on who did I used to watch, who and motivates me, and everything about FNAF. But I remember watching, like, I'll just touch on a few channels. I remember watching, obviously, Markiplier. I remember watching Markiplier, like I mentioned earlier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, Vanos Gaming, and KoreX Kenshin, and probably several other YouTube channels as well in between those, but those were like the biggest influential ones at the time. And after watching so many videos from these guys, that's when I decided, around like 9 to 10 years old, I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up. The most unemployed job anyone could ever pick. But I mean, I loved YouTube, and I loved the fact that I could connect with my viewers and make videos that I enjoy making and that could potentially motivate someone to make videos, or even just, you know, forget about whatever's going on in their life, just like how many of the YouTubers that I watched did for me as well. And I remember telling my mum that, oh, I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up. And I remember that she said, because at the time, me and my parents didn't really have the greatest relationship, but I won't get into that in this video. But I remember at the time I told them, hey, I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up or something. And then I remember mum saying something along the lines of, ew, really? You want to be a YouTuber that does like those prank videos that I see on Facebook? Go work at Woolies or Bunnings or something. I was still young, by the way. Like, I wasn't going to get a job anytime soon. But she told me something along the lines of that. So I was like, sort of heartbroken to hear that. And I remember around that time as well, I told myself, you know what, let me wait until I'm 18 years old, and then my parents will approve of me starting YouTube, which that never came to fruition. Which is strange, because I knew around the age of 14 to 15 that I could just start YouTube whenever, but I still decided to wait until I was 18, because I guess I just ingrained that 18 starting point into my like head or something, so I just didn't want to start early, even knowing that there is no early time to start doing YouTube. Last year I did finally start doing YouTube, almost 2 years ago. It's about 1 year and 9 months now by the time of recording this video. Funny thing was, when I started YouTube, I wanted my YouTube channel to be Vanos gaming style or Kui Kenshin style, to where like I'm playing these games with my boys, like we're playing the game, we're just having a general good time, and I can upload those on YouTube and just have a blast editing them. But when it came to actually doing YouTube, or when it came time to start, a weird shift happened to where now I enjoy streaming much more than I actually enjoy editing videos, or at least gaming videos. And I think it's because I enjoyed the personal connection more, and around that time I was also motivated more so by streamers like Queso, like Jinxie, Kai Cenat, IShowSpeed, stuff like that, because I loved the actual personal connection with viewers. And plus, when it came to actually editing gaming videos, I didn't enjoy editing gaming videos nearly as much as I thought I did, but I do still enjoy editing videos. Like, I'm sure I enjoyed editing this video, but I enjoyed editing the old, let's be real, dog shit vlog video a while ago where I was in Parramatta. I enjoyed editing the skit video that was my last video, which was supposed to be me starting off a new chapter and actually being consistent on the main channel. And then I left my main channel for like a month. I don't know. But I did actually enjoy editing those so much more than I did gaming videos, in a very strange way. And I might return back to gaming editing videos for a little bit, because I know that my vlogs and that won't happen that many or that much. But we'll see what happens with that. I still haven't fully decided if I'll integrate it back or not. I don't know. But I remember getting influenced at the time by all these other streamers, and I actually genuinely enjoy streaming games a lot more than I do editing the games and recording them alone, because I guess I'm not actually alone when streaming compared to recording, because, you know, I do have like a problem with being alone when recording videos and stuff like that. I don't really enjoy it as much, especially when it's like a 3-hour game that I'm recording. Like, I don't like sitting there for 3 hours talking to essentially nobody. But when I'm streaming, in the rare occasion that someone is watching live, which happens a few times, but when on the rare occasion that I'm actually streaming and someone is watching the stream, I am getting like a little bit more confidence in a strange way, because now I know that someone's actually watching, which is very weird because I both gain confidence and I'm also more nervous because who knows what will happen on stream if I accidentally like open a forbidden tab. Like if I accidentally do that on stream, I'm cooked. Like but that's sort of when I started YouTube, and I mean, I've been doing this shit for like a year and 9 months, which isn't that long in the grand scheme of things, but I've been doing it for a little bit of time, and let's be real, haven't been the most consistent, and made poor choices, let's be real, because I started off with 2 YouTube channels, an Instagram, a TikTok, a Discord. Like, I started off really weirdly. Like, I don't know why I decided to like throw up so many things at once, but that's what happened. It is what it is. But you know the how I started YouTube, but you don't know the why. And this is something that I'm going to get into that will get a bit more serious and a bit more real, so just prepare yourself when that pops up. But the why I started YouTube, the simple one was, which is something that I already explained, is that I love the idea of YouTube to death. That I could make like really cool like skits or like short film movies or just me playing games or something and throwing it up and having that interaction with a community of people that enjoy watching it their own personal reasons, whether they watch it because it's just funny or they watch it because it genuinely gives them comfort in a dark time. It's a really cool idea to me that I want to emulate in my videos, despite it being cringy as fuck. The second reason, and this is where we get into the more personal, more important reasons why I started YouTube, but the second reason why is because I only figured out like a year later after wanting to start YouTube that you could actually get paid for it. And I'm not saying that I started YouTube to get paid necessarily, but it gave me a gateway to fulfill a promise to my grandma that I made years ago when I was like 11, because my grandma basically took care of me my entire life, more so than my parents ever did. You know, she would take me in most of my life, especially when my parents would have certain arguments that got a little bit overheated. And when I was 11, I decided to move in with my grandma full time and get away from all that stuff, and to just thank her for all the stuff that she has given me in life that she never needed to, and the amount of courage she has and the amount of stuff she has to deal with from a day to day, because she still drives around for every member of my family and helping them out with groceries or dropping their kids off to school or all of this other type of stuff at her age. I just want to give a little thank you to my grandma. And I promised her when I was 11 that one day when I get a job or do YouTube or whatever it is that I was going to do, which eventually was YouTube, I told her that one day I would buy her a nice house, a mansion, if you will, if I, get that lucky, and not only give it to her in her name, but there'll also be a $100,000 bonus that I would also give to her once I make it. And I still plan to fulfill that promise before the inevitable happens, and I feel like I've forgotten that over the years because I am just not really cracking down on YouTube. I'm not really like being as consistent as I should be when it comes to doing content creation and doing, the fun shit. And especially for my Australian audience, I'm Aussie, first and foremost. I was born in this country. And we all know the current state of Australia with like the housing and all that shit. It's going to be really hard for me to fulfill that chasing a normal job, which I don't really enjoy anyway, because I tried to go down Woolies and other things and I fucking hated them. So that's why I've been chasing YouTube as well, because I know that if I do make it big, which under the grace of God and under the grace of my viewers I will, and I don't even want to keep the money. All I want to do is save up, save up till I can get that house with grandma. And let's be real, I'll probably be living there too, because fuck where I live right now. That is my top of the line reason, is I want to fulfill that promise to grandma before the inevitable happens. And I feel like I've been sort of, I don't want to say failing because that's a really harsh word, but I've been not really doing it as much because of my mental health and stuff that I had to live through, and just overall, you know, self-esteem, which sounds like a fucking excuse, and sometimes I scold myself for it, but in the end, it only makes it worse. Which will segue into number 3, which is the biggest, well, not the biggest importance, but it's definitely up there. But I just want to matter to people, I guess. I want to show to the world and myself that I matter, and that I can be a force of good in the world, because I was raised from a family of, or I was raised by parents that had their flaws, and I, for the longest time, would think that I would end up like them, which thankfully I didn't, but I still feel like that is a possibility that I don't want to see fulfilled, because I want to be a beacon of hope, I guess, to other people, that no matter how bad things get, no matter what background you come from, no matter how your family members have treated you, or where you were raised up, you can achieve everything in life. If I was able to get out from the situation that I'm in and become one of the biggest content creators out there, or even successful in some sort of aspect, then you can too. 100%. You just gotta have an obsession over your passion, I guess. You gotta be disciplined in this sort of stuff, and to be totally honest, I haven't been the most disciplined. There is days to where I just decide not to do anything, because what's the point? But there is a point. I have to be here for a reason. Because there's no way that I won the sperm race because another fucking sperm just untied its shoelace and tripped over. Like, there's no fucking way. I had to beat him for a reason. There is no way that I'm here by mistake. I feel like I have some sort of purpose in this world, whether it is small or whether, God willing, it is bigger than I have ever hoped. But anyway, the video did get a little bit, on the deep end near the end. My fault. Hey, my fault. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, however. I will probably make more storytime videos down the line and experiment with them. Just in case if I'm not making, any other videos, because I do want to make more funny and entertaining sort of videos, which, like I said, one will relatively soon. But just in case, I'll probably make these storytime videos, and also the, you know, maybe I might do more gaming videos that is off of stream if I decide to. I still haven't really decided to yet, but thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you made it this far, I fucking love you, first of all. I would like to thank you guys so much for listening to my TED Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, and I say this every time, as always,